Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And again, we apologize if everything freezes. Think of it as a podcast. We're going to get that fixed at some point where we've got a random neighborhood kid already doing research. Well, actually, I did the research and sent it to him. He hasn't opened the email, but that's a whole other story. All right. I'm going to read you something, Mr. Magazine, and I want you to extrapolate off what I say.
Okay.
Don't tell me why it won't work. Tell me how to make it work. And Mr. Magazine froze, but I didn't freeze on my end.
So you want to make solutions, not excuses.
There you go. Oh, John Taffer, second John Taffer tonight.
That's right.
See, and you used to be big on the excuses side of things, and I'm not trying to pick on you. I would have an idea, and you'd be like, oh, that's not good. It wouldn't work because, and you would tell me all the reasons why it wouldn't work.
Very hard, it takes time.
Because you didn't want to do it.
Don't know much about it, whatever. Yeah.
Right. You didn't want to do it is what it came down to. Yeah. And I'm not saying it was necessarily the right thing to do, but you would discount it right away because you didn't want to do it. Oh, there's no guarantee. That's not going to work. Oh, you got to do that. You got. And my thing to you always was, well, tell me why it won't work. Tell me how to make it work. I know you've changed quite a bit over the last several years, and you're much more proactive on things. And you probably now have the situation with your employees where you probably are
telling them that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But extrapolate on that a little bit, just overall. I think it's all of our natural tendencies to try to avoid what we don't want to do.
Yeah.
And again, and this kind of ties into another video that we've done recently where it is easy to make excuses. It is easy to avoid things.
And, like, I'm comfortable where I am now as far as the business. Things are going well enough and stuff, and, I'm getting older. But, in my head, 10 years ago when I was like that, or 5 years or whatever, in my head I was comfortable doing what I was doing. So I didn't want to make changes that I wasn't familiar with. I was scared to, I take risks, but certain things that, like, I don't know, I work, 10, 12 hours a day. Now, if this is going to take 3 hours a day, I really don't want to work more than 10, 12 hours a day. Now I got to take something else out of my life. So I would think of things like, do I really want to do this? Is it, I'm not guaranteed to make 2,000 more a week or whatever the case may be. So, like, I could see both ends, like it could fail. It could be a break even, or it could make money. Well, do I want to take a chance at, 33% chance I'm going to make money? I don't know. So I would obviously look at things. Now, if it's something where I can better myself, or take a chance at it, unless it's whatnot. Everything else I'll take chances with. But, I think I'm definitely better than I was.
Well, but let me bring another a question for you, Mr. Magazine, if you don't mind. I know I'm not supposed to ask a lady this, but I want to ask you anyway. How old are you?
50.
So when we were having these arguments, for lack of a better word to put it, was what, probably 10, 12 years ago?
Yeah, I'd say 10 is good.
Yeah, so you were 40 at that point.
Right. Over the hill.
Yeah, sure.
40 is the new 50.
There you go. But if you told me right now, you need to, you're retiring soon, you need to open a retail store, I would tell you to take a hike. That being said, I'm going to be 55. At this point, I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. If you suddenly told me, you need to become a calligrapher, whatever word is for somebody with really nice handwriting, you need to do calligraphy. No, you've seen my handwriting. I should not. And at that point, I will make excuses up. So now I would be much more, not that, and I'm going to sound like your father here, not that it's my place, but I would be much more accepting at this point of you saying, no, I don't want to do that, because you've come a long way and you know more. You're 50 as opposed to 35 or 40. If random neighborhood kid told me, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Dude, you're 19.
Right.
You have time to fail. You don't know yet necessarily what you're good at or bad at, other than in generalities. He might know that he's not good at math, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to go become a rocket scientist. I understand that.
Yeah.
But take out the things that you absolutely know you're not good at. You've got the rest of the world open to you. Right. Well, as time goes on, it gets fewer and fewer and fewer things that you know that you're absolutely good at.
Yeah.
So I absolutely know I hate retail. If you told me open a retail store, The only way that would possibly happen would be if you called me and said, hey, a buddy of mine owns this store. He wants to sell the thing for way under market value. But
unfortunately, there is a story behind this. Our buddy has one that would be great for partners because a lot of space. It's right up the road.
From you.
Well, but you're in this area anyway. But, you wouldn't have to do that retail aspect of it, but you could put your stuff in there for sale. If we can get a deal on it and we split it, it's worth it for the storage alone.
Right. And that's a bit of a different story, right?
Something to entertain.
Right, and that's a different story on that because there are other sides of it.
Yeah, we could clear this house, make it look like a paradise, which Mrs. Paperboy would love. And then if you wanted a place to go where you're just chilling out, we can do the show there. You could have some showcases with your own stuff to sell, once you go through your duplicates and, we might be able to make this work.
See, and again, and
we could bond together as partners.
So there's no way I'm ever doing retail and under any situation whatsoever.
Well, we'll have someone doing it for us, that's all.
No, but again, that has a lot of extra things on it.
Sure.
I have set up at flea markets and things like that before. I'm saying I'm never going to do it again.
I'm not a big fan either.
That being said, if all of a sudden some big show I went to some big show this year and the guy goes, hey, we'll give you a free table next year.
Got nothing to lose other than time,
Yeah. All right, guess what? I'm going to the show anyway. Right. I'll take that free table and I'll buy stuff from other dealers and throw it out there. I'll throw 5 boxes worth of stuff down and I'll throw stuff from other dealers while I'm there. Okay. So never say never.
Right.
But those are situations where extra things are in. I'm not going to be doing. There's no way I'm going to be doing the circuit where I go around to 42 different shows a year.
Oh, God.
There are people out there making a good living doing that, and they love it.
They love the grind, the travel,
And that's what they enjoy. I'm old enough now and to know that it is not what I want to do. Mm-hmm. So yes, don't always make excuses about things. Do explore things, but again, very, very many people have their first thing be, no, that's not going to work, and shut it right off. At least open yourself up to the possibility and talk it through.
Yeah.
Because there may be a gem in there that you can definitely use, where if you just immediately shoot it down, you completely miss. And I just gave a couple of examples. Again, I'm not going to do shows.
Yeah.
Yet, a free table at a show I'm going to anyway. Well, I'd be kind of dumb not to say okay. At the very least, I got somewhere to sit.
Right, yeah.
Throw a couple of business cards out, and maybe somebody will come around and sell stuff to me that I wouldn't have the opportunity otherwise.
A showcase of $100 bills in the track they run on sell to you.
There you go. And then when I go to the bathroom, that showcase will be all gone. All right. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. There is no excuse for not hitting the like button. Do it, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.